Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. This is a late video for World Trigger 162. I have a busy schedule today, as in I'll be doing this World Trigger video, Fairy Tail, 7 Deadly Sins, and hopefully the catch-up video for the Promised Neverland as well. So I will try to be as specific as possible. Now with this review, normally I would do a 5-point review or sometimes 4 points and speculation. This one has a big point 1 and then the point 2 and 3 are a bit smaller, so I'll do a 4-point review, but the main content will be within the first 3. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this review. So, point number 1, so many revelations in this chapter, so many questions that we have answered. We were left as a little bit of a cliffhanger last chapter with the kind of the draw of Kido or Kido. And it turns out that it was the Kido, it wasn't a relative or something like that. The answer was quite simple. So around 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago, Tomakoma B headquarters was the official headquarters for one of the original border places. At that point in time, when there's a photo was taken, there was 19 members. So it's important that they mentioned there was 19 members at that time, because Yuma had already left at that. Sorry, Yuga had already left at this point. So Yuma's father, I can't remember his name. I'm sure it's Yuga, but I might be wrong. So Yuma's father was a member of board before that 10 that joined. So he was there when there was 9. So he had already left at this point. It's also important to bear in mind he was alive at this point, because Yuma's father died three plus years beyond this current storyline. So it would have been 2 or 3 years beforehand where this picture was taken, but he had long left to go travel. So we find out a little bit some back. So we find out that Kiriyama-san, which they've talked about for a while, we'll finally get to see him. If I've mistaken him with someone else, so the Kiriyama-san, Kido and Shinoda basically left after a certain incident, which I'll talk about, and they went to headquarters, and some of the members went as well. And basically Kido went off to create a bigger version that we see now. In any case, the remaining members, some of them left, but a good chunk of them died. And basically the reason why they died was because they were fighting in one of the allied neighbor countries' wars, and they got killed at that point, and some became World Trigger. So this is probably where Fujin and Amo's Black Trigger came from. We don't have specific confirmation of that, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Now, this also explains why Kido is such a stern character, because they actually specifically mentioned in this chapter, when they show him, he's smiling, he's happy, he's got long hair, and he's a normal dude. So this made him the cold, calculated person he is, which then changes the approach to hating all neighbors, which then pushed him out, and he made headquarters and grew so much. So Tomakoma B is the original stance of border, and the new stance is based on the fact that people died. So the original idea was based on its logo. There was 3 neighboring countries that were in its orbit that were friends of Median or Earth, and border would basically be the intermediary, the in between, the bridge, so to speak, between their worlds and Earth's. And then obviously the situation changed, and then we went from there. But craziness, so much information in such a short period of time. There's a lot of other stuff in there about economy and Q, and the speculation about the whole Reiji thing, still liking Yuri when she was back then. So there's a lot of that, but we'll not get into that. The main thing was a lot of crazy shit, a lot of people died, and a lot of answers for a lot of questions. But anyway, let's move on to point number 2. Point number 2, Hyuse versus Yuma results. Out of 20 battles, it was 8 to 12 to Yuma, basically saying that 2/3 of the battles were won by Yuma. So what this is basically saying is, although he's a really good fighter, he still has room to develop. Both of them actually have, in the sense that they need to get more used to media and technology. So this is where Yuma excels because he's been doing it longer, the B rank wars and everything else, and he's been learning from different people. And one of the things that has helped him is Grasshopper. And plus, apparently Hyuse is struggling at the moment with Viper because he's not used to it, but his actually specialty is try manipulation. So this tells us that by the end, or by the time we get to the matches, he'll be ready, he'll be stronger. And this is something that specifically said he's confident, and they mention his horns again. I'll get to a little bit about the horns in the speculation video, but it's all looking good, it's all looking cushy at the moment. There's room for development, and we'll get to a few things at the end of the chapter about the review, actually, about what I think is going to happen. Anyway, that's point number 2, nice and simple. I like the fact that Yuma won because that means that he's still the ace, and the secondary ace is Hyuse, and Hyuse isn't as big-headed. But I like the fact that he lost because even like last time when he came second, he wanted to do again and improve. So that'll keep his thirst for getting better and growing and improving himself. So that's point number 2. So the chapter really ends up with Yuma and Chika heading to the headquarters. Chika's basically going to sniper practice, as mentioned in the previous chapter, and Yuma basically actually meets up with Kage-san or Kaguera and Ko, and they're gonna have a practice match before the actual match. The end of the chapter does say that, you know, what are going to be the strategies next time round, so it leads me to believe they're going to skip to that next chapter, which, with this being a late review, won't be that long away, a few days, which I'm looking forward to. Now here's the problem I have with this. There's two things to it. One, Yuma could be holding back. At this point, they still haven't told anybody that they're fighting, that basically Hyuse is joining them. They don't know any of that. So that's one thing. Well, that's kind of a double barrel thing, but yeah. The second thing is, with Ko being there, he's going to be able to learn the skills and styles again. So even if he hasn't made improvement, it's a dangerous position to put himself in because he's going to have to fight him. Albeit when he fought him the first time, he did win because of the underwater strategy, but that doesn't mean he'll be able to do that again. Now they got Hyuse, it's interesting. And ultimately, for the B rank people, I honestly think Kaguera is the strongest attacker, the most deadliest attacker. So for him to be considered upper echelon now, Yuma, I mean, he has to beat Kaguera or Kage-san in a one-on-one fight. So if I keep harping on about the ranks and stuff like that, that always changes. But I honestly feel that the true 4th ranker in the attackers was Kage. He got demoted because of his behavior, and that's why Ko's got that. Ko's obviously 4th. 5th is, it's a bit all over the place. It might even be Kiriyama-san because it was mentioned in the chapter before. Then we've got Ikoma as 6th. So you've got that, and then you've got everybody else. So it's interesting that we've got that there, because if he managed to beat Kage and Ko, he's technically as good as them, especially because they're going to use all their combination, not just, you know, like the single Kogetsu or, you know, Kogetsu Senku. So that's important to bear in mind. Let's get on to speculation now, because this is speculation. I'm drifting, but let's go to speculation for point number 4. Let's finish this up. So with the chapter review done, let's get into speculations. There's a few questions that I wanted to throw out there for people that watch this video to think about. Number 1, remember how I said that people died defending another neighbor country, right? And this was before the initial invasion. This was after Yuma's father has left. Could it be that the reason why they had the invasion is because they helped out? Could that be one of the reasons why they got invaded? Number 2, could Yuma's father have helped, being that he was alive and being that we know from a storyline point of view it was 3 years and a bit when he passed away and Black Trick was created? Could he have helped, or was he too far away? That's point number 2. Point number 3, the mentioning of Hyuse's horns. I honestly believe with him now being Tomakoma B branch, and with Michael Cronin knowing something about it, or mentioning it in a way where he knows something about it, could he develop a technology similar for Kurosama to use? Bearing in mind, when Kurosama used the technology, they did mention that if he had the horn technology, he would do a lot better and they wouldn't leak so much Tryon. I honestly believe that at some point they're gonna fix that problem because of Hyuse's horn technology. They'll create something similar, and that's gonna amp up his powers. I don't know how it's gonna help Reiji and Konami. Maybe it can help refine Konami, but those with high Tryon, aka Chica, could potentially get more Tryon because of horn technology like that. Same thing with Yuma, or same thing with Osamu. So there's going to be certain things that's going to happen that'll be interesting. So we're going to have this little scuffle, and then hopefully next chapter we're going to start talking strategy, and we can go straight into the rank wars all over again, and we'll see what the outcome is now that they've got Hyuse. That is my review. Hope you enjoyed the chapter, hope you enjoyed the do. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for those that do watch these videos. If you want to pass it on to friends that like this type of thing, please pass it on, share it, and let them subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate this, and I'll see you next time. Peace.